The Israeli cartoonist fired over a controversial illustration of Israeli lawmakers will have his works displayed in an exhibition on free speech. Independent groups have stepped in to defend Avi Katz, raising thousands of dollars to support him after what the Union of Journalists in Israel has called a dangerous step. Now, here's the image in question. Parodying a selfie of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other members of his Likud party after the passing of the country's new nation-state bill. It portrays the lawmakers as pigs in clothes, along with the caption, "All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others," a quotation from George Orwell's authoritarian satire, Animal Farm. Now, to remind you, the Jerusalem Post dismissed the veteran cartoonist last week after outrage exploded on social media in response to this drawing. The new legislation, the nation-state bill, is designed to strengthen Israel's identity as the national home of the Jewish people, but it's been condemned as discriminatory towards the country's non-Jewish minorities. Now, here are just some of the comments posted on social media in response to the cartoon that Katz posted on his Facebook page.
Crazy anti-Semite, filled with self-loathing, frustrated and bitter. I suggest that you climb into a jar of salt water in a dark and shady place until you are nicely pickled.
In 6 months, the issue depicted will be forgotten, but this cartoon will be the new Shylock cartoon. It will give permission for hatred of Orthodox, of fat, of men, of Jews in general.
The law sucks, but the cartoon is also permanent and uncontainable.
And Avi Katz joins me now from New York. Avi, a pleasure to have you with us.
Hello.
Now, first of all, my understanding is that this image was approved by your editors. So when you were being told you were being let go, what did they say to you?
They said, my editor said that he was sorry to tell me that people in the front office had told him that he must let me go. He was sorry. I'm a genius. He wishes me only the best. But he's received instructions that he can't disobey.
All right. So to your mind,
who exactly these instructions came from, we don't know.
All right. So to your mind, why was this cartoon so spectacularly criticised? Why did it hit such a nerve in Israel?
I found it quite amazing at the time. I've been drawing for the Jerusalem Report for almost 30 years. I've always been allowed to criticize the government, to criticize steps that I think are wrong, and to make fun of people from the opposition and from other countries. That's the business. We make fun of people and point out their foolishness when it seems to us they're looking foolish. And that's what I did here. In fact, in this case, it was sort of low-hanging fruit. The selfie by a photographer named Fitoussi, which these Likud parliamentarians took of each other, was so silly-looking and so foolish and so piggish-looking that there was hardly any work at all involved in redrawing the image to get it across as a bunch of pigs congratulating themselves for another step taking over the country. I understand that there's a thing about pigs being an unclean animal, but then so are dogs and cats, and we're not allowed to eat dogs and cats. If I showed a politician as a cat, I don't think I've done that. Because we use all the animals available in the arsenal of metaphor in cartoons. I don't think this would have happened. People have this knee-jerk, weird reaction about pigs.
But critics have said that images like this give permission to hate Jews. Do you take their point or understand their fears?
Oh, I understand that there's this principle that if you criticize politicians from the right in Israel, you're criticizing Jews. If you criticize politicians from the left, of course, you're criticizing leftists and traitors and all these other things that the rightists are used to calling people from the left side of the progressive side of the political spectrum, egged on and led by Netanyahu, who has become less and less guarded in his style, less and less trying to treat all of his citizens and all the partners in the political dialogue as colleagues and fellow politicians and fellow parliamentarians and fellow Jews. Suddenly when we're talking about someone from the right and we criticize them, we're criticizing them as Jews, which is just completely absurd.
Right. Well, your works will be now shown in an exhibition in Tel Aviv, asking the viewers to question the whole issue of free speech. So, of course, those conversations and those points that you're raising will be continued to be looked at. Avi Katz,